And now, frigid cold temperatures are ravaging the area. A look at the toll those out in the elements are taking. And the jury is deciding the fate of an accused child rapist in Chautauqua County today. Plus, Super Bowl 57 is about a week away. We take a deep dive into its connections with Chautauqua County.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, frigid cold temperatures are raging out there, causing dangerous conditions for those caught out in the elements today. Our chief weather forecaster, Andrew Stevenson, joins us more on today's cold and snow that's falling in some places. Andrew?
Yes, I start off with a live look from the Mill Creek Mall Skycam in Erie, Pennsylvania. We got some light snow out there. It's also windy out there. That makes for some whiteout conditions at times, as it's kind of hard to see the road out there. Here's all the watches and warnings we have right now. First off, we have a wind chill advisory that's in effect for the entire region, all of western New York, all of northwestern Pennsylvania, and that goes until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We also have a winter weather advisory that was just issued this morning by the National Weather Service in Buffalo. That's for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County, as well as Erie County in Pennsylvania, and that winter weather advisory will go until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. We could see about 2 to 4 inches of snow out of that. So it's cold and we got some snow. Here's the weather headlines you need to know. This Arctic air will last through Saturday morning. Wind chills during this time will be some 10 to 20 degrees below zero, but the temperatures will begin to warm throughout the weekend, and we might even have a return of the 40s as we head into next week. So the high temperature yesterday was 32 degrees. That's the average for this time of year. The low was 12. The record high for today was 58, set back in 1991. The record low of negative 11, set back in 1976. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, snow showers and cold, chilly wind chills with a northwest wind of 13 to 16 miles per hour, gust up to 30 miles per hour. That's going to give you that wind chill below zero. Temperatures today will be found in the single digits to the lower teens. I'll have a look at the full forecast coming up, including the return of some warmer temperatures in the full forecast.
Oh, I can't wait for those warmer temperatures, Andrew.
Neither can I.
As temperatures drop to frigid winter norms, 911 calls for cold exposures are expected to rise. First responders say that most calls come in for homeless and elderly citizens. Warming shelters can fill up, leaving limited options for citizens with nowhere else to go. Elderly people who may struggle to pay heating bills or have furnace issues can also fall prey to the cold. The older your body gets, the harder it is to regulate internal temperatures. The best way to keep cold exposure, call numbers low, is for all to be good neighbors.
You talk about people who get a foot of snow on their sidewalk and the 80-year-old woman lives next door. Go shovel the sidewalk. Go help your neighbor. Keep an eye on them. We're all in this world together, so let's take care of each other.
If you come across anyone suffering from hypothermia, shivering, confusion, slurred speech, exhaustion, or a few common symptoms, call 911 and get them under warm blankets if possible and into a warm place. The St. Susan's Center Soup Kitchen in Jamestown on Water Street offers a warming shelter and meals during the day through 3 o'clock. An accused child rapist faces a jury today as the turbulent wages his fate on 9 counts of varying child sex crimes connected to accusations from 5 different children. Our Justin Gould continues our coverage of this horrifying case and joins us now live from the Chautauqua County Courthouse in Mayville with the latest at this hour. Justin?
Yeah, good afternoon, Bronson. The details in this case are really horrific. This morning, jury deliberations resumed at 9:30 sharp in the trial prosecuting Silver Creek resident Dustin Post. We warn you that details in this story are tough to stomach, so viewer discretion is advised. The 27-year-old accused of rape and sex abuse against several children, he sat in wait as the jury works to come to a verdict today. Post and attorneys were called back to the courtroom around 10 this morning after the jury asked to review more witness and testimony and evidence and legal definitions, specifically the definition of inference, which was explained. Yesterday, they had victim testimony read back and rewatched part of Post's interview with police. Today, they did about the same, but from a different victim in charge. Specifically, they heard the testimony of a 10-year-old Silver Creek girl who was 5 when Post allegedly sexually abused her. Earlier in the trial, she testified that Post, a friend of the family, was babysitting her and her sister at his house in Silver Creek. While blindfolded and tied at the wrist, she confirmed that they played the, quote, sucker game that day, a term that has headlined the trial, with several victims recalling the occurrence. The jury also asked to rewatch part of Post's interview with New York State Police, where he admitted to investigators of coming up with the idea. Specifically, Post said, quote, the sucker game, kind of fun for the kid, kind of fun for me, end quote. Post went on to describe how he tied the young girl's hand behind her back using a lamp cord he cut up. He proceeded with the alleged act. Afterwards, he told investigators he apologized to the child, who was crying out because Post was rough while holding her face. He told troopers he did not mean or want to hurt her. Now, the jury rewatched this video interview with investigators and expressed grief, anger, and sorrow seem to paint their faces. Jury deliberations are continuing as we speak and are expected to continue into the afternoon. I will stay in the courtroom and provide updates when available here on air and online at WNYNewsNow.com. But for now, reporting live in Mayville, Justin Gould, WNY News Now.
Justin, thank you. A Jamestown woman has been arrested in connection with the alleged theft of 2 all-terrain vehicles in Chautauqua County. Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office charged Shannon Broadman with burglary and grand larceny in connection to the alleged theft. The 29-year-old is accused of unlawfully entering a garage in Stockton and removing the 2 ATVs from the property back in December of 2021. Broadman was scheduled to be arraigned via centralized arraignment in Mayville. Well, the Reg Lene Center for the Arts is celebrating a big milestone this weekend, 100 years of operation. Sunday, February 5th, marks the centennial kickoff at the Reg Lene, formerly the Palace Theater in Jamestown. The public is invited to attend festivities beginning at 2 p.m. Key figures will speak on the theater's importance. Following that, the group will give out treats and sing happy birthday to launch the celebration. A free showing of the movie School of Rock will also take place that day around 2:30 p.m. Those with the Reg Lene are excited for not only for the celebration, but the longevity of the historic building.
It's astounding. A lot of buildings don't last as long as this one has. There are several cinemas and theaters around the nation, a couple here in Jamestown that had been demolished because they hadn't been used in such a long time. We're grateful that we're following the footsteps of the people going back 100 years ahead of us to keep this space maintained, to keep it as a community center for folks to get together to enjoy live arts, entertainment, and the occasional film.
Other theaters in Jamestown that did not make it this far include the Winter Garden Theater, which opened in 1913 and ended up closing in the 90s. The building was ultimately brought down on April 7th, 2010. Well, as WNY News Now continues, we are breaking down New York State's budget proposals on mental health, and later, the push for dairy pricing changes and what benefits could come to New York farmers. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than WNY Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on WNY Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. WNY Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
So you think you can cook? We're looking for chefs ready to test their skills, competing in a charity cooking show competition that features a platter of unusual ingredients, including popular local cuisine, judged by a panel of local celebs. Winner is crowned. So you think you can cook? Register online at stsusancenter.org. Produced by Channel 716. All proceeds raised benefit the St. Susan Center in Jamestown, New York.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Blood and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
We're back with continuing coverage on Governor Kathy Hochul's state executive budget. Our Capitol correspondent Elise Klein breaks down her proposals for mental health.
Following her State of the State address a few weeks ago, where she promised to expand access to mental health services, Governor Kathy Hochul proposes $10.5 billion in total system spending for mental hygiene in the state's new budget.
And for people who are struggling with mental illness, severe mental illness, they deserve a system that actually works.
The governor's budget proposal intends to address mental health care through the expansion of various programs, outpatient services, and inpatient bed capacity. In upcoming budget hearings, Assemblyman Phil Palmisano says he hopes the developmentally disabled will be a focus.
Their quality care and quality life should be a priority for us. I mean, if we're not taking care of our most vulnerable citizens like the developmentally disabled, what does it say to us about us as a state?
Among her mental health budget proposals, Hochul does target investment towards developmental disabilities. These investments propose expanding intensive treatment opportunities, allowing flexibility for the performance of certain nursing tasks in non-certified community-based settings, and establishing a statewide ombudsman program. In an email statement to WNY News Now, the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities said these proposals will help ensure New Yorkers with developmental disabilities continue to receive high-quality care. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
I was very clear.
Elise, thank you. There are nearly 3,500 dairy farmers in New York State alone. One farmer in upstate New York believes something should be done to change the way the government handles milk pricing. Dairy farmers are paid by the hundred, meaning that for every 100 pounds of milk, a dairy farmer is paid a set amount of money, which is based on a formula and regulated by the federal government, known as Federal Milk Marketing Orders. U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand reintroduced her Dairy Pricing Opportunity Act on Thursday. As part of the upcoming 2023 Farm Bill negotiations, the Farm Bill is revisited and needs congressional approval every 5 years. The Dairy Pricing Opportunity Act would give dairy farmers the ability to renew proposals, which could change the Class 1 milk pricing for things like skim and whole milk. Currently, milk is separated into 4 classes: New York farmers say by updating the existing guidelines, it will help keep small and medium-sized farms in business. Pennsylvania 529 plans are designed to help families invest and plan for post-secondary education. This week, PA state officials highlighted the PA 529 College and Career Savings Program and say it offers an easy way for Pennsylvanians to plan for the education of their child or grandchild. They say the sooner you start planning, the better, regardless of how much you contribute. Officials discussed a recent analysis that shows rural counties are less likely to utilize the program than urban counties. They hope to increase rural participation and say 529 accounts can be used to save for several post-secondary options, not just a four-year college.
They can help pay for community college, technical training, and apprenticeship programs, which is great because we have a tremendous need for highly skilled workers here in Pennsylvania.
According to officials, there are over 281,000 PA 529 accounts, with more than $6 billion saved in total. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris met with members of the Congressional Black Caucus at the White House on Thursday. The meeting comes 3 days after the CBC's initial call for the conservation and 1 day after the funeral of Tyre Nicholas, a 29-year-old man who was fatally assaulted by Memphis police officers last month. Members of the CBC met with Biden and Harris to push for negotiations to national reforms to the justice system. Meeting attendees included Representatives Stephen Horsfield, James Clyburn, as well as Senators Cory Booker and Raphael Warnock. President Biden also supports reforms as he expressed that he hopes the death of Tyre Nicholas will make action to advance the needed change. Congress and the White House are facing a debt ceiling showdown. President Joe Biden and Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy met this week and began discussions on this. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp shares the economic implications for every American if the U.S. defaults on its debt.
I was very clear with the president. We should not wait 5 months. Let's not put America through turmoil, right?
Following a meeting with President Biden at the White House yesterday and a follow-up this morning, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy says he'll continue talks with the president on the debt ceiling, which is the cap on the total amount of money the government is allowed to borrow to fulfill its financial obligations. 2 years ago, Congress agreed to raise the borrowing cap to $31 trillion. Some members see this as an opportunity to cut back on government spending, while others believe the limit should be lifted. But for now, McCarthy is keeping quiet on the details, saying he's not going to negotiate this through the press.
I'm very clear. We will not pass a clean debt ceiling here without some form of spending reform.
We should pass the debt ceiling clean. That's where we're at.
Democratic members are clashing with Republicans on the debt ceiling debacle, saying if the U.S. defaults on its debt, it could cripple the economy and stock markets.
This default would mean real dollars coming out of American families' wallets. Mortgages, car loans, credit card rates would all go up.
Senator Chuck Schumer warns of the implications for all Americans, including those who live in rural areas like some of his constituents in New York.
Medicare reimbursements for our hospitals would go way down. Healthcare treatment would be worse. Healthcare treatment would be more expensive. And there'd be massive layoffs at so many of our hospitals, and particularly in rural areas, many of my counties, the hospital is the largest employer.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Well, next, we return with our full weather forecast, where our Andrew Stevenson will have more on these frigid cold temperatures and the snow that we're seeing. Stay with us. It's WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
with coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
So you think you can cook? We're looking for chefs ready to test their skills, competing in a charity cooking show competition that features a platter of unusual ingredients, including popular local cuisine. Judged by a panel of local celebs, chefs are tested in 3 rounds before a winner is crowned. So you think you can cook? Register online at stsusancenter.org. Produced by Channel 716. All proceeds raised benefit the St. Susan Center in Jamestown, New York.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
Help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Jamestown, we got some light snow showers out there. It is a chilly 6 degrees at the Jamestown airport with a north wind of 14 miles per hour, and that wind and the temperature makes it feel like a balmy negative 11 degrees out there. So it's definitely chilly out there. But yesterday we had some sunshine. We were able to get a clear look out of Lake Erie and the ice coverage on Lake Erie. If you remember, a couple weeks ago we were sitting at about 9% of ice coverage on Lake Erie, and the colder temperatures we've had this recently have helped build some more ice on the lake, mainly across the Cleveland portion of Lake Erie, and Lake Erie currently sits about 21.2% of ice coverage. But with warmer temperatures on the way, that's not going to help to make any more ice, and it actually might make the ice melt more, as the NOAA 8 to 14 day temperature outlook favors above average temperatures across the Great Lakes and across the Northeast as we head into the middle of February. So if you don't like the Arctic cold, it's going away, and the warmer temperatures will be returning as soon as next week. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. There's that cold front that dropped through the region last night that brought that snow showers, and it's ushered in colder air all across the Great Lakes in the Northeast, with just some light lake effect snow showers streaming off the lakes. Here's what's happening over the next 24 to 48 hours for the rest of the afternoon out there. Mostly cloudy skies, light lake effect snow showers. Drier air will begin to work in this afternoon and into the night. That's going to help the lake effect snow showers to go to bed. We'll have cloudy skies and a couple of flurries to start the morning, but we should go partly to mostly sunny skies by tomorrow afternoon as the sun returns. And then as we head into Sunday, we'll start the day off dry on Sunday with cloudy skies, and then bring in a chance for a few rain and wet snow showers by the afternoon. So the next 7 days, brought to you by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, we make it up to the low 20s tomorrow. Sunday will go to mid to upper 30s with a chance of rain and snow showers in the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies on Monday, and then we go into the 40s by the middle of next week, Bronson. The heat wave is on next week.
Man, I can't wait, Andrew. Well, normally at this time we would go to our Pet of the Week segment, but unfortunately Brian Papalea is sick, so we'll just continue on with the show. With next, we're going to be taking a look at the Super Bowl 57 and its connection to Chautauqua County.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you got to keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
The issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Bills fans may be remorseful for their lack of Super Bowl representation, but those in Chautauqua County do have 2 names viable for a ring this year. We spoke with Chautauqua County Sports Hall of Fame President Randy Anderson, and he told us that no matter which team wins the Super Bowl this year, Chautauqua County will be representative. Most notably here is Nick Sirianni, a Jamestown native, and now head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
No matter who wins the Super Bowl, the Eagles or the Chiefs, Chautauqua County is going to be represented. With the Eagles, of course, head coach Nick Sirianni, Southwestern High School graduate, has worked his way up through the NFL coaching ranks and is now probably the coach of the year in the NFL this year. So we're really proud of Nick and what he's accomplished. Another person from our county who's going to be a part of the Super Bowl festivities is David Hinson. David Hinson is a graduate of Jamestown High School, and he is now the co-director of college scouting for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sirianni is not the first Eagle to represent Chautauqua County.
Jim McCusker, who many people know as the former proprietor of the pub, was a part of the Philadelphia Eagles organization as a left tackle. He was on the 1960 World Championship Philadelphia Eagles team. So he's got a ring. The other guy from our county who played for the Eagles was linebacker Bill Berge, who played in the 70s. Bill was a graduate of Pine Valley Central.
So why are there so many professional sports figures coming from our area? Well, Anderson has an idea.
I traced it all back to high school athletics in our county. Our county has very strong high school athletic programs, good coaching. I think you put all that together, and that's why kids make it.
Now the group will hold an induction banquet for many notable sports figures locally, including Nick Sirianni's brother, Jay Sirianni, which they're all coaches here and really stems in Jamestown, which is interesting to think that someone in the NFL comes from our small area here.
I mean, plus you got, I think he still plays for the Cleveland Browns. Can't think of his name. Stephen Carlson. I think he graduated a year after me or a year before me. And he made it to the NFL for a short period of time. I don't know if he's still playing for the Browns, but it was nice to see a local product making it all the way to the NFL to actually be playing in the NFL.
Are you going to start covering weather for Green Bay Packers now?
Yeah, I wish they were in the Super Bowl. I know the Buffalo Bills fans wish the Bills were in the Super Bowl. I wanted the Bills and Packers Super Bowl, not this year.
Just
maybe
so you can
next
run
year.
around with your cheese hat on?
Yeah, I'll be the cheap person wearing the cheese hat in the thing of old Bills fans.
Well, that's all the time that we have for us today. Remember to catch WNY News Now 24/7 and on our mobile app. Download it today for free. We'll leave you with this live look over our studio in downtown Jamestown.